Yeah, most of them are in India.
Rene Descartes said that if I think, I exist. Do you agree with that statement?
I think I exist.
That's what it says. Cogito ergo sum. Okay, hold on to that thought. So there is soul research in the West also. Belief in the soul, the non-physical existence of being has been an important subject. Plato, Descartes, it's not Descartes, it's French, right? So Descartes. They like to put an S but don't spell it. Some scholars have recently argued the belief in souls is culturally universal and hardwired in every one of us. It's there. You always think of us as souls, but you don't want to accept it. But more than just a way to understand other minds, belief in soul always also helps people explain the experience of their own mind. Because you have mind, right? I think, therefore I am. Whatever we think, feeling, emotion, or exercises free will, subjective experience seems to magically occur. There's a researcher called Wagner. He said this in 2003. I mean, all these things are there in the philosophy for thousands, tens of thousands of years. But people have to re-say it again, right? To write a paper and then people say, oh wow, Wagner said that. This has been said for thousands of years actually. So the very act of introspection suggests a qualitative difference between the mental and the physical. So therefore, it feels like we are made of two parts. There is the mind and the body. People cannot think of soul yet. So Ryle in 1949 reiterated this part, right? That there is a mind and there is a body. Although the physical origin of the body is intuitively understood, the origin of mind is less clear. Can you analyze your mind? If so, who is analyzing it? Your mind is analyzing your mind. So that's difficult, right? That's why people go to psychiatrists. There is a study that 1/3 of the psychiatrists go to other psychiatrists.
More than that.
Maybe, yeah. I am always a little generous. It's more like 60%. But if I say that, people will say, oh, no, that's not true. So, because they hear to all these mental patients, right? So they also become mental. Then they go home while eating, they'll think, am I thinking this? Or is my patient thinking like that, right? So all their patients' troubles are dumped down to their head. Yeah? So most psychiatrists are actually psychos. Because that is their job, every day listening to all these crazy people. So what happens, poor fellows, they also become crazy. So they go to the other psychiatrist. But the other psychiatrist is also crazy, right? So what do?
They
Can't
come to
help
this
them.
guy. They come to this guy.
So artificial intelligence is the talk of the town right now. So what is it that artificial intelligence can do and what is it that it cannot do? I am an artificial intelligence person, right? I'm an architect in that space when I am not teaching Bhagavad Gita. So initiating a task, organization, working memory, planning and time management, it does very well. But does AI have self-control? Computer cannot have self-control. Can it self-monitor itself? No. Emotional control? Can it control its emotions? No, as long as there's electricity, it will do something. You pull the plug, there's nothing. It's
They
dead.
don't have emotions, right? But there's no point of emotional control.
Yeah, they don't have emotions, therefore there's no point of emotional control. Yeah. Yeah, you hit it on the point. There's no question of control because there's no emotions. Flexibility. Can they revise strategies? So you have gone to QFC. No, there's no QFC here. That is in Seattle. Kroger. And on the way, you want to fill air in your tire. Tire in your air is also same thing. It cannot change strategies like that. It will do what it is told to do, right? So AI can never become a soul. All these people are selling artificial intelligence. I'm also selling, right? Just to make money. We want to sell our products, so we say it's a very great tool. But we all know it will never come to that platform. Super Intelligence Lab by Meta he's offering $100 million salaries.
Eh?
Yeah, to pull people from Google, DeepMind, from other companies, only for a few, select few. He only needs 10 people. So he's offering he offered one person $1 billion salary. That fellow declined. He said, I'm happy where I am. We didn't come. It's all there in the news.
1 billion.
1 billion a year.
Wow.
I mean, people don't last in those jobs for more than a year
Maybe
anyways.
3 months maybe they will last, you know.
Yeah, usually what happens is people are like day and night working, trying to come up with these new ideas. They'll go crazy, they'll quit. They usually, I mean, at that point, they don't need that much money, right? Like if Satya Nadella quits today Microsoft, do you think he'll beg on the streets? No. Every year he's making 200 million, paying 100 million in taxes anyways. So they have enough money. They don't work for money anymore at that point. But yeah, anyways. So AI is the hype, but it is useless from that perspective. Now look at your palms. Look at your palms. So is it what? For men it is right hand, women it is left hand? Is that right? Okay. Men look at right, women look at left. This is left. Okay. That is called Hasta Samudrika.
Kapal is what this? What is Kapal?
Today I'm only going to talk about Hasta Samudrika. Kapal is face.
That is last one. Face reading.
Yeah. That is Mukha
Yeah,
Samudrika.
I think it is this forehead, I think.
Yeah, forehead is phrenology. Just forehead. That's why you say Kapal Bhati, right? When you do that, the forehead becomes bright in pranayama. Okay, so Samudrika Shastra, today we'll only go talk about Hasta Samudrika Shastra. The line arrangements and fingerprint patterns, Anguli Chakra, are not random. They are believed to be karmic signatures. Visible marks left by the invisible actions of your past lives. So where are these lines coming from? They are coming from your past lives. You cannot escape. People may say, I don't believe. Like one Christian preacher said, if you convert to Christianity, we will nullify all of your karma. Because in a different framework, there is no karma in our religion. Therefore, karma gets nullified. No, who was saying this? Gaurang Prabhu was telling in Mumbai, somebody came to him and he said, yeah, convert to our religion. No, not Gauranga. What's the other?
That's good, na? Convert to Christianity, it becomes zero karma. Then
Zero
convert to
karma, that's
Krishna
what he was saying,
consciousness with zero karma then.
Yeah. No, that gives hope, right, to people? Yeah. But it's not true. So there is a saying in Shastras, Yat karma tat phalam. As is the karma, so is the fruit. Just as a tree bears fruit from unseen roots, lines and patterns on your palm reflects the seeds of karma sown in previous births. This life's karma, where is it going? Is getting bagged. Sanchita karma. It will again become prarabdha karma starting of your next life. That's a different topic. Today's topic is only this. Okay. Your palm is your living karma map. It doesn't determine fate but reflects it. So Rompad Maharaj once just said, His Holiness Rompad Swami, you make a decision to jump out of the window. The pavement that is waiting for you to break your bones is your fate. You'll break your bones, right? If you jump out of the window, tall building, or die. So you make the choice for fate to act. Otherwise, fate won't act. So our free will is also there. Okay? Our sannyasis are very, very intelligent in coming up with these kind of statements, right? With sadhana, spiritual practice, tapas, austerity and bhakti, devotion, you can reshape future lines by transforming your current karma. You can transform it, not eliminate it. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatah dehantara prapte dhirastatra namukyati. You all know what this is. Okay, so I will go on to the next one. So these fingers, right? Index fingers Jupiter, Saturn, Shani, Sun, Surya, Mercury. What is Mercury?
Buddha.
Some people call it Angarika, but there is a specific name. Okay, anyway, we'll come to that. So, depending upon the lines on your hand, palm, is what you will go through. You cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. But there are ways to avoid it too. How lines reflect past lives? Lifeline Pranreka shows vitality shaped by past physical karma, health, strength, family karma. So which one is lifeline? This thing that makes a curve like this. This line is the lifeline. Sorry, mistake. Actually it is the lifeline. The headline is something different. Okay? So then you have the headline, Buddhi Rekha, reflects mental samskaras, intelligence, obsessions, decisions shaped by prior experiences. You cannot avoid those either. That's why Sridhar Sham is different than me and I am different than you, Prabhu. Because we have millions of lifetimes of baggage that will determine our trajectory in this life or future lives. You cannot avoid that. Then you have the fate line, direct indicator of past life effort and how it flows into destiny. A strong fate line indicates consistent karma across births. So fate line is this curved line. See, for me, my fate line is aligned with my lifeline. For many people, it is separate. Check yours.
That is fate line.
The curved line is the fate line.
Yeah.
The straight line going up is the lifeline. For me, they are both joined. My life and fate are related.
For me also joint.
I think the vertical is the fate line.
Yeah, vertical is the fate line.
They are very small.
Suppose it's joint means no.
You have none.
We'll come to that.
So what's the point fate line, lifeline with is touching them, what happens?
We'll come to that.
You might hear. The small is a fate line.
Then minor lines are Sun line, Surya Rekha, Mercury line, Vani Rekha, Mars line, travel lines, marriage lines. I mean, this is not a course on palmistry. This is to show that we have existed before. Palmistry, the Samudra Shastra, Samudrika Shastra is an ocean. That's why it's called Samudrika. Samudra means ocean, right? It's a huge science. If you want, you can reach out to His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he will put you on a schedule, and after 3 months he will talk to you and tell you all about your fate. But it's not necessary. He himself says it's not necessary. For our devotees, for us, surrender to Krishna is more important. Okay, so marks and signs across our Vedic Hindu school. In the Western school, they are called grid, triangle, square. But for us, we don't talk to them in those languages. We talk about Shankha, like there's umbrella sign, there is the flag pole, right? Temple sign, picture, lotus, swastika, moon, Ashtakonam. Ashtakonam means 8 cone. Just like trigonometry is trikonamati. You have 3 konas in trigonometry. In the way Ashtakona means octagon, right? Pentagon is 5. That's why in Washington DC you have the Pentagon in the military establishment of United States.
The bulb also here.
Huh?
There is a light bulb also.
That's not a light bulb, that's a picture.
Oh.
What do you call picture in Hindi? Ghada, na?
Surahi actually. Surahi.
Yeah, Surahi, Ghada, chalega. So, these symbols we won't have because these symbols are reserved for somebody very special. We are talking about palmistry, science of palmistry, and how we don't exist just in this life. Multiple lifetimes we are coming, and what we do will go into a bag of future karma. It's a very involved topic. So these signs are there in feet of Lord Krishna and Sri Radhika because they are very special people. For us, it will be a bunch of scribbly lines on your feet if you look at your feet like that. So lines are also varying, right? For example, if you see the heart line which is here, and if it's squiggly on the left side, it means you'll have heart problems and you will die a premature death. I mean, there's no death, right? The soul never dies. So it will go into the next body, and the next body, and the next body. But we are only talking about prarabdha karma which comes into this lifetime. And also there are timings, right? So if you see, if you go to a good astrologer, they'll take your palm print and then they will use a scale to draw lines. If somebody just looking at, I mean, that is like lightweight science. But the real good ones, they will do that. And it's very difficult to get to real good ones. You may have like 1 year waiting list to see them. It's not easy to get into their calendar. So this is the book. Samudrika Shastram. So everything that is being discussed comes from this book. It is in Sanskritam. It's on archive.net. You can download it and read, and you'll get a headache very quickly because none of us are good at Sanskritam, right? But there are English translations of this book. I downloaded one. I have it with me. Somebody wants, I can send it to you. Okay, so now look at your palms and see on the tips of your fingers how many chakras you have. How many chakras do you have?
0.
0? Really 0?
No, there's many brothers.
Chakras.
There'll be either chakra or shanka. Shanka shape or shanka shape.
Can't even see anything.
Can't see Prabhuji.
Yeah, I also
Cannot see? Then you're all new souls. There is a concept of an old soul and a new soul. Old soul means somebody who left our eternal Father Krishna in the spiritual world long time ago, and we have been roaming in this world multiple times. Those people have more chakras. So there is a shastra which says Eka chakre mahabhogi dvichakre bhuktiman syat trichakre loka sanchari chatur chakre dharmarthi pancha chakre raja yogi.
But where is the chakra here? What does it mean by chakra? Where is
Chakra here, I told
No,
you.
in the picture, how to understand? Where is what part of the picture is chakra?
No, I'm saying ask at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah, this is tip
No,
only.
symbol is asking what is chakra symbol?
But
is asking.
in that picture, in the
Yeah, basically those whorls are called chakras. Those circular patterns, concentric circles, right? You see those concentric
You need to
circles?
count how many are there?
No, you don't need to count anything. That is a
all
chakra.
pictures
Figure.
look same only, no?
No, 5 chakras means on 5.
On 5 fingers, you'll have 5 chakras.
1 chakra.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
like
like that.
that.
Like that. Yeah, I was trying to find 5 chakras in one finger, you know.
Oh, so okay.
So I have 3 chakras.
I have 0.
Okay, I have 3 chakras and I have traveled to 30 countries.
I am pretty sure.
3 chakra, Loka Sanchari.
I have 5 brothers.
Then you are a born leader and you will be a sannyasi. Is your wife listening to this class? No. No, she should be happy. She'll get 50% of your punya karma, right? Wives get 50% of husband's karma. So better make your husbands pious. If they are nonsense, then you'll become nonsense. If they are pious, then wives get the punya karma. Like that. You have 5 chakras? That's it. Sannyasam.
Zero.
Recommendation.
0. I can't recognize anywhere. So,
More chakras, more propensity towards spirituality. Right?
You have 3 brothers?
that's why I have 0.
Yeah, my daughter has 1 chakra, Eka chakra. So she always asks for good things in life. Mahabhogi, like that.
And anybody who has
So I would buy like an old Toyota Camry.
What about one who has 0?
0 means you are relatively a newer soul. You left spiritual world recently. You don't have enough experience in the world.
Prabhupada says we are all what is it?
Of course, it doesn't matter from that perspective, right? Once we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, none of this matters.
Like we are like material world, all of us. It like what eternally. What is that?
Nitya Baddha.
Nitya Baddha.
Nitya Baddha,
Yeah, we are Nitya Baddha.
No, Nitya, eternality, 1 million lives versus 10 million lives, you are still Nitya only. It is 1 life versus 2 lives matters. But like Guru Maharaj says, His Holiness Bhaktivika Swami, he says, there are 2 kinds of infinity. Actually, there are infinite kinds of infinity. Okay? If you say 1 plus 1 and you keep on going, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4. Isn't that different than 2 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 4? 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 3. So there is no one infinity. There are infinite infinities. So at that point it doesn't matter. 1 million life, 10 million lives, kya farak padne wala hai? Right? We are only talking about relatives here. No? If it is less, then it makes sense. But otherwise we are all Nitya Baddha, eternally, trapped in this material world, life after life. So this is the science. Scientists have found out how these fingers form. When the baby comes in the womb, they found that for different people, the fat on the fingers assembles in different ways, and they don't know why. So we call it past karma, but they don't know why. Right? That science of embryology is not matured yet. Do you want to be a doctor when you grow up? Which class are you in? 7th? Okay, you still have way to go. So once anybody wants to be a doctor, then they will know that this is medical doctors would know very little. After 8 years, 4 years of MD and 4 years of residency, because I have been going to so many doctors and doctors know nothing. We have come to a firm conclusion in my recent saga in my own family. So in this research, this is called a dermatoglyphic pattern. And these fats are assembled in a particular way based on your past karma. Science has no explanation for that. Why are your chakras different than somebody else's chakra? Right? This is the basis for criminology. They ask you when you apply for your green card, they scan it. What are they doing? Because nobody in the world has the same pattern as you have, which means nobody in the world has the same karma as you have. Very, very unique to all of us. So there is a simple architecture. There's an ulnar loop, a wall, tented architecture like a tent, radial loop, double wall, etc. So our fingerprints are an important physical trait that can define who we are as individuals. The unique pattern formed during embryogenesis. As embryo is getting formed in the womb, that's called embryogenesis. Genesis means what according to the Bible? The start of creation. Embryogenesis means the start of an embryo. Right? English is a assembled language. Sanskrit is a unique language. In Sanskrit, in one word, you can say what in English is a whole paragraph or a sentence. Right? To describe dharma, in English it takes an entire paragraph.
Huh? No, encyclopedia.
Yeah, it takes an entire encyclopedia. Yeah. To describe a dharma word. Right? But dharma is so compact in Sanskrit. It can take multiple encyclopedia. It can take a lifetime to figure out what dharma is. So its formation is dependent on interaction between genetic and variable environmental factors, which ultimately give rise to our unique fingerprints. The key to our identity and individuality. So this is an educational institute. .edu means it's an educational institute. URL. .hk means Hong Kong. Right? Yeah. So some researcher in China or Hong Kong figured out how the fat forms. First there is nothing. Little dots form, and then streams form, and the lines form, which is unique for everybody in this world. 8 billion unique patterns. Otherwise, we cannot do criminology. How do you identify somebody by their, the movies they show, right?
How long ago in the Western world they started accepting the fact that everybody has a different thumbprint?
Different what?
How long ago? They started
Oh, they only started in the last 20 years. But this philosophy has been around for 5,000. No?
Yes, this thumbprint, that unique thumbprint everybody has, that even Western world, I think they accept it for like at least 50, 70 years, something like that.
Yeah, since my childhood. Yeah, maybe 50, 70 years. Yeah. Like I used to see these detective movies when I was young.
My point is based on what they accepted that it is unique.
They accept it is unique based on observation, but not on the philosophy behind it. Yeah, that is the problem with Western science. Western science just goes by observation. They don't look at scriptures. Okay? So these walls are destiny markers, signs of karmic strength and preordained fate. Right? Having 3 such circles suggests a person is not ordinary. They have unique talents, often linked to leadership, influence, and spiritual depth. Okay? Such a person doesn't follow crowds. They chart their own course. By now, you should have charted your own course. Why are you not doing it? We should talk to his Mataji, his wife. Sometimes people say, oh, my Mataji. No, it's not your Mataji, it's your Dharam Patni. Your Mataji means your mom. Okay, I will not read all of this. So, Eka Chakra is Mahabhogi, great enjoyer of pleasures. Right? If you have 2 chakras, out of the 5 fingers, if you have 2 chakras, then it is Bhuktiman, enjoys wealth, with merit, means some karmic thing. 3 chakra is Loka Sanchari, travel the worlds, both physical worlds as well as spiritual worlds. Chatur chakra, Dharmarthi, seeker of dharma and prosperity. Pancha chakra, Raja Yogi, born leader, destined for high status or spiritual realization. I'm thinking of your sannyasi name already. Okay? This line implies that the person is destined to enjoy worldly pleasures, wealth, food, relationships, fame, may have strong desire, driven personality with deep appreciation for art, beauty, comfort, charming, persuasive, successful in love or commerce. Right? More likely, Mr. Trump has single chakra. The life may not be deeply spiritual by default, but full of rich experiences and sensual learning, sometimes linked to the idea of householder's dharma. Right? So they are very good at taking care of family, accumulating wealth, multiple houses, multiple cars. That's the category of people. So the thumb is Mars or Mangala. Index finger is Guru or Brihaspati. Middle is Shatan or Shani Dev. Ring is Surya Dev. And little is Buddha. So if in these 9 planetary systems, 5 of them are already influencing your fingers. So if you think you are free in this world, you are not. 24/7 you are in the control of Devatas. 24/7. People say, I'm free, I'm going to a movie. Okay, Devatas also coming with you. 24/7, everybody is following you. And Krishna, as Paramatma in the heart, is also following you. So if you are doing something bad, he is doing 2 things. Upadrishta, Hanumantacha, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaram. Means he is watching and he is permitting. If you want to kill somebody, he will permit you. But the karma is not his. Karma is yours. Next life you will take birth and again you will be killed in the similar fashion. That's why you will see some young person killed in a road accident. Very poor fellow, he got killed. Well, he must have killed somebody in his last life. And in the accident, he got killed. Justice.
This Dr. Ian Stevenson, he did a lot of 40-45 years of research in University of Virginia. Wrote 3 big encyclopedias, big ones. So he is in this Devamrit Maharaj's book, Searching for Vedic India, the blue book. There's one chapter he has condensed his findings like that.
Yeah, so Dr. Ian Stevenson will come to that.
Yeah.
Let's move on because we are already behind schedule. We started late. Okay, so again, I can send you this deck. I'm not going to read every line item, but you get the idea. Devatas are constantly in control of our individual actions. Paramatma is always observing in your heart. So we don't have freedom. If somebody says, yeah, Americans, we are free. How are you free? You depend on oil, Middle East. You depend on basmati rice on India. You depend on high-tech workers from India and China. You depend on everybody. Nobody is free. Right? So this chakra, balanced karma. Little enjoyment, little duty. 2 chakra people. Such a person is practical, reflective. They have strong past life merit. They are not easily defeated. So, thumb and index, if you have dvichakras, natural leader. Index and middle finger, moral authority and you are a judge or a scholar. Ring and little finger, actor or writer or public figure. Thumb and ring finger, power, fame, charismatic. This is the basis for your mudras. For certain yoga pose, you put this mudra. Certain yoga pose, you put this mudra. For certain pujas, you pick up the kumkum like this and you throw with thumb and ring finger. Right?
Yeah.
So why do you use that? Because royal presence. Krishna is the king, Vishnu is the king. What is that in Vishnu Sahasranam? Raja Rajati, they call him a king, right? They call Vishnu as king. So, based on the mudra, have you seen Elon Musk? Before doing a major decision, he will hold like this. So people are very afraid. The movement he does like this means, Gaya Kam Se, he will make some major decision. Right? And many, like French President Ferdinand Marcos, he also does like this before making major decisions. There's power here in these 5 fingers like that. So there's a lot to be learned. Trichakra karayo pumshan loka sanchara jayate. Means you will travel the worlds. As I said, I have 3 chakras. I have traveled 30 countries. And even within America, I have traveled to at least 35 states. How does that happen? Not by accident. Right? Travel extensively in life across lands, cultures, and even professions. I have worked across 15 different companies, across project manager, engagement manager, little bit of development, architect. I keep on changing jobs every year, every 2 years. That's the nature of A3 chakra. You cannot stay in one place. The soul has moved through many lifetime and realms. So which also means that I've gone to Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala, and then Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, the upper planets and the lower planets. You know these things? You know these names? Atala, Vitala, Sutala. Have you watched S.V. Rangarao movies? Yeah. S.V. Rangarao is our only guru in Andhra Pradesh right now. Because most people don't read Bhagavad Gita. So if you watch his movies, at least you'll get some knowledge.
She knows. Akansha knows.
Huh?
She knows. No,
Oh, you know? You are Akanksha?
Yeah, the lower planetary system.
Yeah, you know. Okay, good.
ఇప్పుడు యమలోకం కూడా దాంట్లోకి వస్తుందా?
Yamaloka separate. Yamaloka southwestern corner lo untundi. That is why southwest is where you keep dead bodies when somebody dies, and you don't put your head to the south unless you are a sannyasi. Sannyasi means for material purposes you are dead. You put dead bodies head south.
But in the home they say southwest master bedroom, right?
Anyway, you're sleeping there, right? You're not doing anything spiritual.
No, you said dead body. That's what
See, half our life, what do? We sleep,
Yeah.
which is a waste of time. Anyways, I also sleep a lot, so I'm not pointing a finger at you. Indicates a highly evolved jiva soul, a seeker who has tasted the flavors of many worlds, may have occult knowledge. One of my friend actually has occult knowledge. He looks at the face and he will say what is going on. His Holiness Navayogendra Swami Maharaj. He came to our house and he stayed 3 times, I think, in Seattle. He just looks at your face and he'll tell you what's going on in the mind. So I'm very afraid going in front of him, right? Like my name was Ramesh, right? Before I got initiated. Ramesh, kyun jana nahi hai aaj mandir? Because I had the mind thought I don't want to go. He will read the face. So this is possible actually, Okay, anyway, so Trichakra hastah purusho rajate swayam eva. A person with 3 chakras shines on their own. They don't need external validation, right? Okay, so let's move on to Chatur Chakra Dharmarthi. Such individuals are believed to balance wealth and righteousness, power and spiritual purpose, public responsibility and inner discipline. So these people are the religious leaders basically. Karmic depth with noble life purpose. So they have a higher purpose. Inclined towards ethical leadership and benevolent rulership. Succeed materially but with clear conscience, which is lacking in most parts of the world now. Nobody has conscience, right? They do whatever comes to mind. Oh, yeah, we'll lay off 24,000 people in Microsoft, like that. So such leaders don't have conscience, but they somehow become leaders. Somebody tried giving from our temple in Seattle, Satya Nadella, a book. I think one person even succeeded, but obviously never opened the book, right? Because he never came to the temple even on Janmashtami. He's so busy. Because when you are at that level, the board of directors will be owning you. You don't own your own life anymore, right? So they'll say, okay, now you lay off so many people because if you cannot increase the numerator, you have to reduce the denominator. Return on investment is either higher growth or less number of salaried people. So if you cannot increase the numerator, what do? You cut off the denominator. So all of us have been laid off at some point in life. Maybe not doctors like you, but Chatur Chakra type, Raja Janaka, Emperor Ashoka after the Kalinga War, Sri Ramanujacharya, Ahalbai Holkar. I'm saying type. I don't know whether they have 4 chakras or not, but those kind of individuals. Actually, Raja Janaka is more like a 5 chakra type, because when his guru came And he said, okay, now time to go to forest to become a sage. He just leaves everything. He calls his eldest son, you take care of this Bhaiya, you take care of the kingdom, I'm going now. And he doesn't turn back and he just goes. None of us are like that, right? Is it like that? No? So Pancha Chakre Raja Yoga Bhavati. Wait a minute. Kingship or rulership, spiritual leadership, revolutionary innovation, global influence, and cultural transformers. They change the culture of a society. Born to lead, rule, and uplift other people. They carry forward immense karma or merit. Almost at that point, it's not karma, it is like Srila Prabhupada comes to mind. So they are very, very special people. Okay? Now, chanting Hare Krishna mantra and changing destiny. So as devotees of Krishna, we don't need to worry so much about what is there in the fingers, what is there in my astrology chart, because all these things can change. This doctrine asserts that our future or destiny is shaped by karma or accumulated actions. While karma typically binds us to repeated birth and death, punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam. So if you have karma, you will take birth again. Chanting Krishna's names with devotion can invoke divine grace and alter these otherwise fixed consequences. So these fixed consequences are removed. Empowered by Krishna's mercy, the devotee's destiny can indeed change. So we can change our destiny. Right? Just like if there is a bird and you do, what happens? Bird flies away. Similarly, if you chant and clap your hands in front of the deities, what will happen to your karma? It will fly away. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare So Krishna's grace as a changer of destiny. If Krishna wants, he can evaporate everything in 1 second. Right? Brahma Samhita, there is a verse. Karma nirdahita kintu cha bhakti bhajam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Nirdahiti. Dahan means fire. Nirdahati. Karma nirdahati means your karma will burn in the fire. Bhakti bhajam, in the fire of devotion. But are we really doing at that level of devotion? No. How should devotion be? Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. How else should it be? It should be intense. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajete purusham param. Tivra, intense. Going once a week to Nagar Sankirtan is not sufficient, Sarvana. Shri Sharma. Once a week is not sufficient. Every day, every moment. Like Nityananda Prabhu was telling the story of Srila Prabhupada. One person in Bombay, he said, "Oh Prabhupada, why are you always asking money to build temple, this, that? Sadhu should always be thinking of God." So he asked, this person to come and said, go back and put your ear on my chest. And he puts his ear on the chest and he could hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what is he doing? Externally he is raising funds to build a temple, but internally 24/7 there is only Hare Krishna mantra going on in the heart. We should come to that platform. 24/7. Like I was driving once Agulhas Maharaj to Sankirtan. He was sitting next to me, passenger seat, and he felt asleep. But his lips were moving. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Like that. Even in sleep you should chant. 24/7 you should be chanting or doing some seva. Seva is also chanting. Somebody went to my Guru Maharaj, his own as Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was saying once. Somebody went to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj and he said, I don't see your disciples chanting that much. Are they doing 64 rounds every day? Recently it was there on that app, BVK's app. He said, yes, they are. He said, really, I don't see them chanting that much. But they are constantly engaged in service. Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. So either you constantly engage in service or constantly put like a parallel processing, right? So if you have two GPUs, NVIDIA GPUs, and you have one CPU, so the CPU serves as a master and these two GPUs are basically the assistants. So one GPU should always be chanting Hare Krishna. The second GPU should be taking your kids to Taekwondo, going to office, like that. So 24/7, unless the heart is chanting Hare Krishna, you have no scope of going back to Godhead. Sometimes people think, oh Prabhuji, every Sunday feast I come and serve in the, Sunday feast. And then when do you see again? Next Sunday feast. And in Seattle I was telling this story. One Prabhu Mataji comes and says, oh Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so good to see you. Oh, very good, very good. Then I saw her again. You know what? Next Janmashtami. If you come to God once a year, like if you go to office, you are architect in office. You go to office one day a year. Will you get annual salary? You may get 8 times $60, $480, bye-bye. Whereas when it comes to God, we think that God should just be there and we can do our own manmani here and there. And once in a while go to temple, Arey, God, you remember I put $5. Remember last Saturday, $5 I put in your hundi. I put attendance. Janmashtami I came, I gave attendance. It doesn't work like that. Devotion means 24/7 or to the extent possible. Otherwise, you are not going to go back to Godhead. Guaranteed. You'll stay here. I will stay here. So we have a long way to go actually. So don't think that, oh, I got initiated, Prabhu, 15 years ago I got initiated, Prabhu, Nahi chalega aise. It's not like that. Initiation means what? Beginning. From there is a journey. A long journey. So, although we talked about palmistry, we talked about past karma, that is not our focus. Our focus is what? We do not emphasize palmistry, the reading of karma lines on palms, as a determinant of spiritual progress. Changes attributed to chanting are understood to occur at the level of consciousness. So we should take the external mantra and put it internally. So that 24/7 we are chanting. An emphasis on spiritual over material, and emphasis on following your guru's order. Every guru gives every disciple a different order. And this is very important because he knows your propensity and will give you the appropriate seva. The guidance is not the same for everyone because your propensity is very different. So, Guru Padashraya, one has to approach a bona fide guru in the parampara coming straight from Krishna. So, Krishna's disciple is Brahma, Brahma's disciple is Narada, Narada's disciple is somebody, and in this same chain, I am there in that chain. How did I come? I don't know. Somehow or the other, Trichakre Lokasanchari, suddenly I entered ISKCON and here I am. Somehow or the other, you are here. So make the best use of your bad bargain. Our bad bargain is we have to go to office in Dallas. That's our bad bargain. So best use of the bad bargain by focusing on Krishna. So when the living entity wants to enjoy the modes of material nature in their totality, he prefers out of many bodily forms to accept a body that has 9 gates, 2 hands and 2 legs. Which body is that? Human body, Navarandra Pura. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, 1 genital in the front and 1 anus in the back. 9. Navarandra Pura. So we are living in the city of 9 gates. You are stuck in this city actually. Cannot escape. We may choose, but can you choose your parent? No. Karmana Daivanetrena Jantur Deho Pate. Based on your past karma and your supervision of the Supreme Lord is supervising you. You take a birth in a particular Navarandrapura. Or in some lesser being like a antelope or a donkey or a deer or a pigeon. One lady in Seattle was telling me, oh, in next life I want to be a pigeon. So there are foolish people like that also. You know? Pigeon means what? Some guy in Dallas will be waiting. Finish. In one shot, you fall dead. Yeah? True or not true? Or if you are born in chicken, then you will end up in KFC. Yeah? So you have to be very, very careful in what kind of body you enter. So covered by the mode of ignorance in material nature, the living entity is sometimes a male, sometimes a female. So you are not a female, I am not a male. We are souls. Sometimes you are put in female Navarandrapura, sometimes in a male Navarandrapura. In this way, he is wandering within the material world. His acceptance of different types of bodies brought about by his activities under the influence of modes of nature. Sattvaguna, goodness, Tamoguna, ignorance, and Rajoguna, passion. These are all there in Bhagavad Gita. Modes of material nature, this entire chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Everybody should have a Bhagavad Gita. The way you look doesn't look like you have a Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, we do have
You don't have it? Okay, then you are not reading it.
Yes.
If not, Sarvana can arrange Bhagavad Gitas.
Yeah, already Akansha and
Okay.
Daksha.
Okay, very good. So they come to your class?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. The living entity acts in the gross body in this life. The body is supposed to act by subtle body composed of mind, intelligence and ego. So you have 2 bodies. One body is a subtle body, mind, intelligence and ego. And this is trapped in the gross body of 2 hands, 2 legs, so on. The living entity while dreaming gives up the actual living body. Through the activities of his mind and intelligence, he acts in the other body. So suppose you want to enjoy lot of meat. So after you die in this body, which means you leave this body and go to the next body, what will happen? You will get the body suitable for eating meat. God is so kind that he will give you a body suitable for eating meat. Okay, so there's a lot more to cover. This is our desire, right? A desire to maintain body, wife, children is also observed in animal society. So what's so special about human beings? Ahara nidra bhaya maitunam cha. Ahara nidra bhaya and sex maitunam. Samanya etad pashu bir naranam pashu. Animals and nara, humans. Samanya. Dharmo hi eko adhika vishesho. Only the concept of dharma, which fits into an entire encyclopedia. Dharma hina pashubhir samanam. So we are just like animals. So you have 5.7 million animals who look like humans in Dallas area.
How many?
5.7 million, that's the population, right? Greater Dallas, or even more.
I heard Nityananda Prabhu say 9 million.
Okay, so let's say 10 million. 10 million two-legged animals in the Dallas area. So we have to transform from two-legged animals to two-legged humans first. People talk big things, but first to become a human. Then you can talk big things, right? Okay, any questions? This is the astrological chart of Srila Prabhupada, drawn in Calcutta, long time ago. So there is this theorem, I will leave you with this thought. Is theorem 4 from John Craig's Theologica Christianae Principia Mathematica. means Mathematical Principles of Christian Theology. In 1699 he published this. What he's saying there is, suspicions of historical probability. You are suspecting something of what? Historical probability transmitted through any period of time, right? As concepts travel through time, increase in double proportion to time taken from beginning of history. So as time passes, you become more suspicious of what happened in the past. As it is, most people think Krishna is a human being. Gandhi was saying that, right? Krishna is just like a human being, is not God. By this calculation, by 3150 AD, people will say Jesus never existed. So how people will forget the past? It is this quadratic rule. As time passes, it increases in the double promotion. How we forget the past, right? This theory was coined even way back in 1699. So Srila Prabhupada has a Capricorn. He was born 4 p.m. on that day, and his Rashi is Capricorn. So here are various houses. I don't have time to discuss all this. So any questions before we conclude? I have another 20 slides, I think. So now a lot of Western universities are doing this research. This is in University of Edinburgh in United Kingdom. So Mr. Kostler gave a lot of money to establish a parapsychology department in University of Edinburgh. And then Dr. Ian Stevenson in University of Virginia here in the eastern United States. So he has done Children Who Remember Past Lives. That's his book basically. And he has collected 300 papers and 14 books in all. I mean, he wrote 14 books and he published 300 papers. So his methodology is very, very intense in remembering how children remember their past lives. There were kids who were saying, oh, last life I was this. And when he goes to that other town, he will say, this is where my table used to be, this is where my door used to be, in this way. So all of us have past lives. Sometimes they come in your dreams. And then you wonder, why did I have that dream? I've never seen this city, but it comes as a dream. Right? So none of us are new. We have always been there for millions of lifetimes. And if we don't do something about it, we will take birth millions of lifetimes again. Okay, so I don't have time to cover all this. But yeah, neuroscience says everything is brain. Psychology says everything is emotions. But the soul is beyond neuroscience and psychology. It's even higher than that. There are a lot of scriptural quotes from the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Tat Sat. Okay, any questions? Chapani. Sodungo. At least one question. How about you, sir? One question.
Sorry, Guruji, I came late.
That's why you should ask a question. To make up.
You mentioned about the change of karma, right? Karma will diminish or something you mentioned. Can you mention, briefly explain?
No,
With
karma
the-
will
with the
diminish.
electric
Karma will be
flame.
burnt by bhakti. But bhakti has to be intense. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Bhakti yoga should be intense. Yoga itself is intense. Bhakti yoga should be even more intense.
It's not by clapping hands like that. Right?
No, clapping hands, karma flies away, some of it. Srila Prabhupada said this actually. Okay, why don't you clap in, kirtan and your karma will go away. But again, he was speaking to newcomers, right? But then he gave Srimad Bhagavatam, which gives you the signs of devotion, right? So devotion is many layers deep. So you have to go deep. Most people, like we were talking before the class, right? Most people are at a very shallow level. They just do the basics. It's not adequate. You have to go deep.
So what's the typical journey of a soul?
Typical journey, body to body to body, till it meets a guru. Once it meets a guru, then it will take the guru's instruction, a bona fide guru, not any kangaroo, and then follow on those instructions.
Not
Like for example, my Gurudev gave me the order of talking on science of reincarnation, and I'm following his order. Period. I mean, he asked me to do bigger things, not sit at a home like this, go to universities and talk about this. Because most of you know a little bit, but we are talking about Western audiences, right? Where they have no clue. So for them, we have to do something. So that's the journey of the soul. And then Srimad Bhagavatam talks about when you leave the body, how the soul goes through. You give up earth first, because our body is made of earth. Then you give up water, fire, air, ether, and soul is very subtle. It just goes out. It pierces the covering of the universe, and it goes even higher, goes to the spiritual world. So Srimad Bhagavatam, everybody should get one. $250. It's a set of 18 books. You'll spend the next 40 years reading it. Do you have a Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes, yes.
Who doesn't have a Srimad Bhagavatam? Okay, you should get one. Ask your papa, daddy to get $250 check to this gentleman here. He will arrange for a book. Not a book, it's a box. It's heavier. It's like a box of books.
Prabhuji, if the soul does not go to Golok Vrindavan, will it take birth again in the material?
First of all, Goloka Vrindavan is a very high position. There are multiple layers in Vaikuntha. Based on your propensity, you'll end up in one of those places. For me, even if I'm grass in one corner of that Vaikuntha, I'm good enough.
So even after going Vaikuntha, will the soul come back, or
Why will it come back?
if it knows there is another higher?
Yeah, from there you work your way up.
Okay.
No, but for one who doesn't follow the devotional service, or what is the typical journey?
Typical is you go to hell, come back as human or animal. You go to heaven, come back as human or animal. You are in this, within the Brahmanda, these 14 levels. But if you are purified, then you pierce the covering of Brahmanda and go
I
up.
think today's time period, hardly anybody is going to heaven and coming back. Mostly it is staying in this species only, or going down and coming up.
Yeah, like for example, Amitabh Bachchan is said to have reincarnated from his grandfather. Most of the people, they are attached to their family members and they come back in the same family. Right? In a lot of Telugu movies talk about this actually.
But does the soul typically goes to Yamaraj, and then they give,
Yeah, Yamaraj is a very senior position. Huh? You'll go to one of the Yamaduta,
yeah.
the lower level, entry level
So
candidate.
even if you are planning to be born, or if you are reincarnated or to be born as a human being, so does the soul go to
Not
the
always.
Yamaraj?
Not always.
Not
Depends
always.
upon, I mean, if it's not super bad things, and stay here, means basically few lives. and-
Karmana Daivanetrena. Based on your karma, but there is an override clause there, Daivanetrena. Krishna decides what happens to you through his agents.
Yeah. No, but what is the significance of this, the Shraddha ceremony?
Oh, because you actually go to hellish planets for a little while. Everybody goes through. Even Maharaj Yudhishthira had to enter and exit rather quickly.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
even if you do one small mistake, right? All of us, there are 27 hells. 27 in Srimad Bhagavatam, 28 in Garuda Puran. I wrote a LinkedIn article on this topic. Join my LinkedIn, Radhika Gopinath Das, Professor of Vedic Theology. So you can read some of my articles. Radhika Gopinath Das. Okay, so everybody goes to hell for a little while. Then, based on your propensity, we may be born as a dog or a cat or a pig or something. Again, come back to human, or go through the chain of from the dog to a cow. Typically, cow is supposed to be the penultimate. From cow, you become humans. But most of the time, we are hanging out here. Unless you take shelter of Krishna and you proactively do something about it, you are not going to exit out of here. So that is why our prayer is not like
So Shraddha ceremony basically you're talking about, right? So Shraddha ceremony is like most of the ancestors, even today also most of us will not go back to Godhead, right? I mean, and sinful activities have been